now for the next episode. Let's get it.
We have a lot to talk about, girls. Butter is almost upon us. Welcome to Butter Week.
Yay.
I can't wait. The little snacks they have given us in the form of the photo teasers are so delicious. I mean, where to even begin? Okay, that was y'all's cue.
I know. I was like, I guess we're supposed to say something, but like, that's the truth, right? Is we're just all speechless. What is there to say?
Exactly.
Like, I have zero expectations of butter. Like, at first I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of song this is going to be. And then they started dropping us the little nuggets of things. And with each passing concept, I have less and less clue. So I'm just going to be really surprised and excited regardless.
I feel like your color scheme and the vibe, was I telling y'all in the chat today? I'm getting a funk vibe, like 70s funk, like Earth, Wind, and Fire with modern twist, because they're so colorful and they're so fashion forward. I don't know. I would love if that was it, but I'm not going to be surprised if I had to pull out my clown suit later.
Yeah, I would love something funky. That would be awesome.
And
something with a little funk and soul, maybe?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
They have this right under our noses in plain sight all the time. Like they
That is
reference the future. Because remember in Junie's Wing solo, I Wish I Could Love Myself. What's the name of that song?
Reflection?
Yes, Reflection. I wish I could love myself. And then what was the next era? The love yourself era. So Melissa, I think you might be onto something, a little funk and soul. So they are hopefully bringing the funk. And speaking of funk, Jimin's rainbow hair, rainbow unicorn. Oh,
I never knew I needed it, but I absolutely did.
He's wrecking us. If Jimin is not your bias, you are wrecked right now. You are groveling for mercy. And he's not having it. Giving it to you.
No. Like, how can somebody with rainbow unicorn hair have such a fierce look? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just those two, the juxtaposition, although it's the same thing with the concept photos we got today, right? The leather and then not necessarily lace, but like the sheer flowy blouses. I don't know what they're doing, but I like it.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like a fake love 2.0, I don't know, kind of the leather, the lace, I don't know.
I'm all for a fake love 2.0.
I'm glad that I'm glad that they're always pushing the envelope, that they're always stretching themselves, not just musically, but just artistically, how they express themselves, even through their wardrobe. They're so fashion forward. No wonder Louis Vuitton has partnered up with them.
Well, and it also makes it doesn't make more sense because it already made sense. But in the Rolling Stone article, Junie made some comments about how they're not trying necessarily to like go against gender stereotypes, but at the same time, like if that happens, like that's cool too, because they just don't think it's a construct that subscribe to. And these outfits today definitely fall. I'm not going to be surprised when Bangtan Closet or whatever that Twitter account is comes out and says that some of those pieces were from a female line. Like, I'm just not going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love that. I love that they don't want to be put in a box.
Nobody puts Bangtan in a box or a corner.
That's right.
I loved how in Jimin's picture last week, he was clearly in an elevator and like even the buttons, the elevator buttons were, perfect. Just the detail they go to is always impressive.
Okay, that reminds me, some army on Twitter had posted a photo of, it was a tweet from back in, what was it, 2015, 2014, and Jimin's in that elevator.
Oh, during Dope, they had
Yeah.
an elevator. Yeah.
Yes. So, ooh, what is happening now?
And they
I
had
saw
an
them-
elevator in Map of the Soul 1 too.
Yes.
Oh, we were going up and down in an elevator during the concert, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So elevators take us to different floors. Okay, yeah, I'm too tired to be that deep. Never mind. I started going down that path and I was like, yeah, I can't finish that. Never mind.
That's why
You're
I don't
taking up-
theory craft. There's just too much that goes into it. My brain starts to short circuit.
They're taking us to greater heights.
Oh, I like that, Martina.
I do too. Yes.
Well, I need to talk about JK's first photo we saw from Butter, where, you know, he had on that suit and the purple hair and it tied back. And I was like, wow. I have to say, he definitely looks grown up now. I mean, yeah, he does not look like a child anymore at all. He just is like, you know, he's just like at a whole other level this year, especially, I feel like. So
Yeah,
since my time happened, I feel like he's
broken
on
out.
another level. Yeah, exactly.
I think that was like his breakout performance. Like, I'm here, y'all, and I'm not going back.
When he's JK, who's on stage or taking photos, yes. But like he is still such a baby and run, and not
Yeah.
baby in a bad way, but like big baggy clothes, pouty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he doesn't, like, whiplash 24/7, I can't imagine what it's like to be a JK bias, because you're just all over the place. One minute he's killing you with a half naked chest out, and then the next he's like in big baggy clothes, pouting,
I know.
playing a giant keyboard or something, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've been watching BTS on the game caterers, and he is just so freaking adorable. You know, even when he's not at the center of whatever's happening and he's off to the side, JK lives in his own world and he just entertains himself, and just what he does, his reactions, and he's just so much fun to watch. But he's definitely not the same JK that writhes around on stage.
No.
Yeah.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
There's definitely two.
Mhm.
His song name, My Time. So this is his time.
True.
That's true.
And we're so okay with that.
I
He
know.
claimed it.
So do we want to talk about the Rolling Stone magazine
Yeah.
stuff?
I'm
Sure.
impressed. Like, honestly,
too.
like the articles that have come out so far they've been good, and they're not the same boring Western interview questions. And the individual interviews have been, the person clearly did their research. You know, they're asking about your part in this, like Jin's, they asked specifically about how he tapped into his emotions for his part in Spring Day. Or, you know, they asked Hobie about his mixtape. You know, I'm impressed that they actually did their research. You know, maybe they're finally listening to ARMY, and by they I just mean, you know, the general masses who are trying to sell us stuff. Because really, I don't have a bad thing to say so far.
We're learning new information. Anytime I see an article and they ask a more in-depth question and we actually learn something new, that's always nice.
I agree.
Well, it's because
yeah.
they're asking good questions, right?
Mhm.
It's not, who do you want to collab with next? You know?
Yeah. So big shout out to Brian Hyatt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm enjoying all the articles that he's written so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of the members. They're very thoughtful and insightful questions. It's not just some random question. It's actually questions that you get another perspective of who these 7 awesome people are. I think it's good.
I feel like
Yeah.
when you have a good interviewer, it helps to expose more of those layers of the BTS onion, you know. And I think that when BTS themselves, when they feel comfortable or even challenged by those thoughtful questions, and they're willing to open up even more and give us more and give us more, because you can always tell when they are ready to divulge more and when they just kind of put up the just kind of smile and nod like, okay, this is gonna be a cluster, so we're just gonna smile and nod and give very short whatever answers, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wrote down quite a few quotes from the articles because I just like them so much. But when Namjoon had mentioned, well, when the interviewer had asked about their songs in particular, and how life goes on, and of course how they weren't getting radio play, and Namjoon he said, quote unquote, if they feel it, I think they will change. And that's the thing, if people would actually be open-minded and listen to their songs and try and understand the meaning behind it, I definitely agree 100% that they would change how they feel. It's just they need to be open-minded to open that doorway.
Yeah. I think Yoongi had said something similar in an interview, gosh, I don't even know, way back when, but he was saying that like if people would listen to their music without prejudice, they would, like, so many people just dismiss it because it's Korean or boy band.
This idea of boy bands, and that's all they are. They're not just boy bands, they're intelligent human beings.
I have one friend who, when I first told her I was listening to BTS, she basically was really dismissive and just said, well, I don't listen to K-pop. And I'm like, okay. But it is sad when people aren't even willing to listen once to something. I mean, I love finding new music and new things in the world. So to me, it's always exciting to find something new. So I don't know.
They see them as just boy bands that they don't have a thought in their heads. But they're intelligent human beings and they can string two sentences together. So it's nice to see these articles coming out and that the rest of the world could find out and see the things that we know about the men.
And I loved when they had mentioned a quote from Bang PD himself. He had said, I wanted to create a BTS who could become a close friend. At this point, I think it's mission accomplished. Because these guys are definitely friends to anybody in this world. And they say that they're individuals like we are, experience the things that we experience. It's great that they're able to put that out in music so that they can relate to us. And then we resonate with them. Yoongi had mentioned I guess a lot of the guys, they had struggled with their feelings and I guess how to get those expressed. But I can definitely see that with Yoongi, with him being very, he just seems quiet natured to me. But he said that he doesn't have that trouble anymore being able to express his feelings. And I truly believe that 100% because I'm sure he has a million songs in the vault somewhere that are expressing all those feelings and emotions he had put into his music, which I would love to hear all of them.
One of the things I was thinking about was, well, first of all, I love their vulnerability. I love how open they are, to sharing their struggles in these interviews. And I was also thinking, especially with I love how all of the interviews we've seen so far, they've all talked about how even though this past year was really hard for them because they weren't touring, that actually it had been a major year of personal growth for them. They had been able to think about things that they would never have really thought about if they'd been so busy with their usual schedules.
That's definitely the silver lining. Something good definitely came out of this. As hard as it's been on us, on Army, not to have seen them, oh my gosh, going on 2 years. Oh, that's right. It has been 2 years. That's right, because I just celebrated the 2-year anniversary of the first winter concert in Chicago. That came up on my Facebook memories, and it was kind of a gut punch, to realize that, That was 2 years ago. It has been 2 years. And then I have to remember that there are some people that have never seen them live. So I need to not be such a spoiled brat. So, but anyway, I know everybody wants for them the return to face-to-face concerts, having that organic, moment, that give and that take, that feedback from the fans. Every artist needs that, but I think in particular BTS. So yeah, it's been hard, but at the same time, we've gotten so much good come from it.
Yeah, and I think it's truly amazing. When they're on tour, they're super busy with their schedule and everything. But then when they're saying in these articles that it's time of self-reflection and discovery during these times, I think they're doing a great job already. They have so much to offer. So I already appreciate them already.
Agreed. I hope that whatever they had planned for after 7 still happens. And I'm not talking like, obviously I want concerts and stuff like that, but they're always working ahead, right? So they had their next concept, their next maybe even songs already started, and we didn't get those, right? We got B, which is amazing, but we know that B was a brainchild of COVID, basically. So we haven't seen, and maybe that's coming, right? Like maybe whatever they had planned for Mott 7 is coming, or after 7 is coming this year, or I don't know, maybe it got changed. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
It's true. Who knows if the trajectory that they would have taken without a COVID has been altered. And now that COVID has hit and they've had to make adjustments, maybe they're just moving in that direction now. Maybe I don't know. What did y'all think of the Lotte family concert?
They only did 3 songs, right?
Yeah.
They did Life Goes On, Telepathy, and Dynamite.
Yep.
They looked good.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And I did love the background sceneries behind them. It looked really nice.
They looked like they were having fun.
Yeah. Especially with Telepathy. It was
Yes.
so fun.
Well, and like when they went into the beach scenery or whatever.
And Junie was like, where are we now? I wonder if that was a surprise to them. I don't know.
Junie and his philosophical thinking. I just loved how he had mentioned we're only apart physically, but we're not apart, I guess, is it mentally? I'm not exactly sure what the other word would be.
We are bound eternally. I think he said something to that effect. And I'm like, I do.
It's a spiritual connection, right?
Yes.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
It is. It transcends.
I live and breathe. Yeah. I live and breathe BTS. Even though I've never seen them in concert, it's like they're always right here in my soul.
Yeah. And then I kept thinking when I saw JK's hair and Junie's hair and Jimin's hair, and I was like, oh, so this was like it could have been pre-butter stuff because they were getting ready for that. Or I could be wrong. They're getting ready to dye it because it's like that one little phase before you have to add the color. You've got to bleach your hair out and then you add the specific color. So I was trying to put together a little timeline in my head. Like, okay, so when did they shoot this?
At least a month ago. At least.
Okay.
Because of hair growth. Jin's hair is much longer. Yoongi's mullet is much longer. And I don't know, because of the way they styled Jimin's hair, you can't really tell the difference there. But
I don't think he had as much of an undercut at the concert as he does in the butter pics.
Yeah.
So they might have touched it up a little. I don't know. But they just looked really good.
Oh, did y'all notice Jin had the lime green microphone?
Yeah, there was several new mics last night.
I noticed that. I was like,
Junie, Yoongi, Hobie, and Jimin. I think.
Yeah, I like Jimin.
Tay's still using green matte.
Yeah.
And JK's using purple matte, which he was using for the Love Yourself, Speak Yourself, but then he went to purple bling last year. So I don't know. But everybody else was using something different that we hadn't seen them with previously.
The ones that they were using last year are now in the museum.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, like,
yeah.
Tay keeps re-upping that green one. It's the exact same mic that he's been using since Never
Yeah.
Stop Speak Yourself. Like, and which
Funny.
makes sense. Like, maybe he just, maybe that's his trademark now. I don't know.
Yeah. What I liked the most about the concert was the vocals. You could really hear them singing. There was not a lot of stuff going on in the background, so that was really awesome. I felt
the
like you could
vocals-
really hear them singing.
And they were so strong. Not that they're ever not strong, but they were particularly good. And the harmonizing was just so beautiful.
I agree. I forgot which song it was, but Jimin, he basically called out Army in the song. He's like, Army!
And he stopped singing his verse,
Yes.
and then he threw up a finger heart, and he called on us.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
In the fields, all the fields.
We miss y'all too. Bogo Shipta.
Bogo shipta, nomu nomu bogo shipta. So by this time next week, we are going to be a mess over Butter, over the music video and the song and the streaming and the, oh my gosh, it gets better every time we listen to it. What do you guys think Butter will be like? What are your predictions?
My arteries and veins will be clogged from butter.
That's good.
Because we'll love it so much.
We also have the BBMAs next week, so there's just so much
A week
going
from
on.
today.
It's
A week
crazy.
from today.
So I'm hoping it is funky and fun but also sexy. I'm hoping the music video is sexy too and not just fun.
I'm with you, Susan. The color from the outfits give me a 70s funk, Earth, Wind and Fire with a modern twist vibe, and I'm just hoping that it's just a fun, funky vibe with a tish of diss somewhere in the lyrics, because those are our kings that we stan. But one thing's for sure, I'm going to go on the record right now and say I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite BTS song. I love it.
All BTS songs are your favorite BTS song until the next BTS song comes out.
True.
That's hilarious. We can safely say that. It will be one of our favorite songs.
Yep. I have no predictions, so we can move along. I don't know what to expect. That is all. I'm expecting the unexpected.
Melissa's expecting to be slayed.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Like Melissa, I have no expectations. I will be happily surprised, but I will be streaming all day on Friday.
Yes.
That's my prediction. I'll be streaming all day.
That's a must. We're going to blow Dynamite Records out of the water. I know it. I know it. People are not ready. The muggles of the world are not ready. And the nice thing is that the DJs that have already heard Butter, they all seem to be saying the same thing, like, oh my gosh, this is really good. But now I need them to follow up with some spins.
Yeah.
Okay, you gave it props. Now freaking play it a lot.
I think
You're on
they
notice.
will because it's English. And that disappoints me and doesn't disappoint me all at the same time. So I don't mixed emotions, but that's okay.
I think they're very
Yay, Butter.
strategic.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I support their decision to do this song. I know that there was a lot of forethought put here. So I'm okay with it. Just DJs and their
Yes.
selections.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to Butter. Hopefully, Melissa, you're right about the little funk and soul.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Bomton and Borhe. You can find us on Twitter at BBorhe Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook at Bomton and Borhe, and our email is bomtonandborhe@gmail.com.
Until next time, this is Crystal.
D.
Melissa.
J.
Susan?
Tina.
Jorge.